is a landlocked country in Central Europe, situated in the Carpathian Basin, with a landscape dominated by rolling plains and hills, though it has some low mountain ranges. Its geography is defined by the Danube and Tisa rivers, which divide the country into three main regions: Transdanubia, the Great Hungarian Plain, and the Trans-Tisa region. The highest point is Mount Kex, and the lowest is the Tisa Rive. Situated in the Carpathian Basin, it has a land area of 93,030 square km, measuring about 250 kilometers from north to south and 524 kilometers from east to west. It has 2,106 kilometers of boundaries, shared with Slovakia to the north, Ukraine to the northeast, Romania to the east and southeast, Serbia to the south, Croatia to the south and southwest, Slovenia to the west and southwest, and Austria to the west. Hungary's modern borders were first established after World War I when, by the terms of the Treaty of Trianon in 1920, it lost more than 71% of what had formerly been the Kingdom of Hungary, 58.5% of its population, and 32% of the Hungarians. The country secured some boundary revisions from 1938 to 1941. In 1938, the first Vienna Award gave back territory from Czechoslovakia. In 1939, Hungary occupied Carpatho-Ukraine. In 1940, the second Vienna Award gave back northern Transylvania, and finally Hungary occupied the Bačka and Moravsk regions during the invasion of Yugoslavia. Hungary's population was 9,689,000 in 2021, according to the Hungarian Central Statistical Office, making it the fifth most populous country in Central and Eastern Europe, and a medium-sized member state of the European Union. As in other former Eastern Bloc countries, its population has decreased markedly since the fall of communism, having peaked at 10.8 million in 1980. Population density stands at 107 inhabitants per square kilometer, which is about 2 times higher than the world average. Around 70% of the population lives in cities and towns overall, which is well above the global rate of 56%, but lower than most developed countries. 1/4 of Hungarians live in the Budapest metropolitan area in north-central region. Hungary is home to the largest synagogue in Europe, built in 1859 in Moorish Revival style with a capacity of 3,000 people. The largest medicinal bath in Europe, completed in 1913 in modern Renaissance style and located in the Budapest City Park. One of the largest basilicas in Europe, the second largest territorial abbey in the world, and the largest early Christian necropolis outside Italy. Hungary is an OECD high-income mixed economy with a very high Human Development Index and skilled labor force with the 16th lowest income inequality in the world. Furthermore, it is the 9th most complex economy according to the Economic Complexity Index. The economy is the 57th largest in the world out of 188 countries measured by IMF, with $265.037 billion output, and ranks 49th in the world in terms of GDP per capita by purchasing power parity. The employment rate was 68.3% in 2017. The employment structure shows the characteristics of post-industrial economies. 63.2% of employed workforce work in service sector. The industry contributed by 29.7%, while agriculture with 7.1%. Unemployment rate was 4.1% in 2017, down from 11% during the 2008 financial crisis. Hungary is part of the European single market, which represents more than 508 million consumers. Several domestic commercial policies are determined by agreements among European Union members and by EU legislation. Hungary is an export-oriented market economy with a heavy emphasis on foreign trade. Thus, the country is the 36th largest export economy in the world. The country has more than $100 billion export in 2015 with high $9.003 billion trade surplus, of which 79% went to the EU and 21% was extra-EU trade. Hungary has a more than 80% privately owned economy with 39.1% overall taxation, which provides the basis for the country's welfare economy. Hungary continues to be one of the leading nations for attracting foreign direct investment (FDI) in Central and Eastern Europe. The inward FDI in the country was $119.8 billion in 2015, while investing more than $50 billion abroad. As of 2015, the key trading partners were Germany, Austria, Romania, Slovakia, France, Italy, Poland, and Czech Republic. Major industries include food processing, pharmaceuticals, motor vehicles, information technology, chemicals, metallurgy, machinery, electrical goods, and tourism, with 12.1 million international tourists in 2014. Hungary is the largest electronics producer in Central and Eastern Europe. Electronics manufacturing and research are among the main drivers of innovation and economic growth in the country. In the past 20 years, Hungary has also grown into a major center for mobile technology, information security, and related hardware research. Large Hungarian companies are included in the BUX, the stock market index listed on Budapest Stock Exchange. Well-known companies include the Fortune Global 500 firm MOL Group, the OTP Bank, Getty & Richter plc, Magyar Telekom, CIG, Pannonia, FHB Bank, Zwak Unicum, and more. Besides this, Hungary has a large portion of specialized small and medium enterprise. For example, a significant number of automotive suppliers and technology startups, among others. Hungary is a historically rich country positioned between Western and Eastern Europe. It's a variable playground of contrasts that add to the exciting atmosphere, from lush countryside vistas to opulent architecture, from sordid historic decay to impressive restoration and innovation. It's also a widely popular travel destination thanks to a wide variety of attractions for any type of traveler. It's nearly impossible to get bored in Hungary. Hungary has more than one national day. Hungary has such a rich history that one national day simply won't suffice to commemorate it all. The first Hungarian National Day takes place on the 15th of March in memory of the 1849 Revolution and War of Independence. Next, on the 20th of August, Hungarians commemorate the country's founding as well as the founder, King Saint Stephen. Finally, on the 23rd of October, the most recent Revolution and War of Independence of 1956 is honored. Considering that Hungary has so much history that 3 national days are required, it should come as no surprise that the Hungarian Parliament building is the 3rd largest in the world. This imposing and impressive work of architecture comprises a whopping 691 rooms connected by around 20 kilometers worth of stairs. What's more, when constructing the Parliament building, they spared no expense. No, really, we're talking 40 kilograms of 23-karat gold just for the adornments. Hungary is a variable kaleidoscope of flavors, ingredients, and must-try dishes. From Gallia sleeves, a delicious Hungarian goulash soup, to the famous Cirki paprika's chicken paprikash, there are delicious local delights to try. But did you know that one of the most popular ingredients in Hungarian dishes, those delicious snail-shaped egg noodles ziga, is said to date back as far as the 9th century? Naturally, many travelers focus on Budapest, a fascinating city with iconic landmarks and some wonderful things to do. However, in this post, we will also explore some of the most famous monuments outside Budapest and natural landmarks like the Danube River that cross the whole country. 1. Hungarian Parliament. The Hungarian Parliament is possibly the most famous landmark in Hungary, the most photographed, and the most impressive to look at. Located on the city's Pest side on the Danube's eastern bank, it was designed by Hungarian architect Imre Steindl in neo-Gothic style and opened in 1902. Since its construction, the parliament has been the biggest building in Hungary and, even today, is one of the world's biggest legislative buildings. It is 268 meters long, 123 meters wide, and has a maximum height of 96 meters, making it one of Budapest's highest. It has a symmetrical main facade overlooking the Danube and a central dome. Besides the size, it's also full of details like the coat of arms above the windows and the dozens of statues of famous Hungarians. The interior is also awe-inspiring, with 10 courtyards, 27 gates, 29 staircases, and almost 700 rooms. The famous part is probably the hexagonal central hall, with huge chambers adjoining the lower and upper houses. The Holy Crown of Hungary on display in the central hall is the final attraction of the parliament. It's possible to have guided tours to the parliament to learn more about these and other features. 2. Buda Castle. Located on Castle Hill on the Buda side of the Danube, the Buda Castle is the old historical palace complex of the Hungarian kings in Budapest. Initially completed in 1265, the castle was built to protect Budapest from the Mongols and Tartars. In the 18th century, the extensive neo-Baroque palace was built to house the royal family. It was heavily destroyed during World War II, but it was rebuilt to today's shape after the war. Housing now the Hungarian National Gallery and the History Museum. This historic Hungarian landmark has been part of the Budapest World Heritage Site since 1987, and it's one of Budapest's most striking views. The location and size make it highly visible from almost anywhere on Pest's side. Don't miss the wonderful Mace Tower, built in the 13th century and home to some important conflicts during the centuries. 3. Fisherman's Bastion. Also located on Castle Hill and next to Matches Church, you'll find the Fisherman's Bastion, one of the best-known landmarks in Budapest. Built from 1895 to 1902 to the 1000th anniversary of Hungary. It may look like a defensive building, but it was designed to be a lovely panoramic terrace, offering some of the best views in Budapest. And all we can say is that it worked. The Fisherman's Bastion is also a very symbolic landmark. It was built using neo-Romanesque and Gothic architectural details to take us to early medieval times when Hungary was founded and enhance Matthias Church's beauty. The 7 turrets may look like a Disney palace, but they symbolize the 7 chieftains of the 7 tribes who founded Hungary in 895. Fisherman's Bastion's lower terraces are free to visit and open 24/7, while the upper terrace and tower can only be visited after purchasing a ticket. It may be a purely decorative monument with whitish walls, many windows, arches, arcades, and benches. But it's surely one of Europe's most captivating and romantic sights. 4. Széchenyi Bridge. One of the most noticeable landmarks you'll see right away in Budapest is the famous Széchenyi Bridge that crosses the Buda eastern side to the Pest western side over the Danube River. Built in 1894, the chain bridge in Hungary's capital city was the first permanent bridge to cross the Danube River in all of Hungary. This famous landmark is situated over significant areas of the Danube. On Buda, at the entrance of the Castle Hill area, Funicular and Buda Castle, and on the Pest side with Széchenyi Square, the Gresham Palace, and the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. There are nice walkways on both sides of the riverbanks with views looking up to Buda Castle from the Pest side and views back to the Pest. Better seen from above at Buda Castle and the Fisherman's Bastion. More commonly known as the Chain Bridge, it was one of the modern engineering marvels of its time, with beautiful ornamentations made with cast iron. There are walkways located on the bridge, and it is also lit up at night, which can be beautifully captured from both sides of the river, and a nice walk in the evenings. 5. Heroes Square. Heroes Square, or Helyes tér in Hungarian, is one of Budapest's most iconic squares. It features statues of the 7 chieftains of the Magyars, or the heads of the 7 Hungarian tribes that arrived in today's Hungary at the end of the 9th century. Construction on the square began in 1896 to commemorate the 1000th anniversary of the Magyars' arrival, with statues and improvements added over the course of the next 50 years. There are also other statues of leaders important to Hungarian history, as well as the Memorial Stone and Millennium Monument. Many of the statues were carved by sculptor Zala Zsirgi. Today, Heroes Square is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and an important place to visit to get a feel for Hungarian history, from the Magyars to the years of communist rule. What do you think? Thank you for watching and wait for our next video.